So this week we are going to be learning CSS. And there are some pages in your book that you're going to need to read. And most of the information is going to be in the lecture demo. We are going to be going through a lot of CSS styles and rules. And we'll get a little into a couple of the CSS3 styles that I really like that look good. But most of CSS3, we are going to have to wait to cover until we get into lesson 9, just because it's just way too much to cover in a single week. And CSS3 is a little bit more advanced. So what we're going to be covering this week is the CSS that you can literally apply to almost any tag in your HTML. So we start out kind of by describing what the different parts of CSS style rule is, the fact that we have a property and a value. And then we go through how to add the CSS to your page. So you can do external, internal, or inline styles, and each one overrides the other, which is kind of where the name cascading comes from. So an inline style overrides internal and external. An internal style sheet overrides an external style sheet. But the nice thing about external sheets, and you can see I'm giving you a link to one of mine, is that it makes a website very consistent because you can apply an external sheet to all of the pages at a particular site. So we basically go through the syntax and then we get into the different style rules. And for the rest of the semester, you are going to be using styles. Because a lot of styling deals with color, we do go through how to change color, the different techniques you can use, and then how to change color of text and background. And we get a little into color theory as well. So I've got some examples of good and poor sites. And then we get into our basic color theory. And some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not be familiar with this, but read through this. It is kind of important that you understand some of this so that you can actually pick colors that look good together. Some people are curious about how hexadecimal colors work. This is nothing I would ever test you on, and it will not be on the MTA exam, but it does explain what those values after the hashtag, what they mean. Then I've got some links to useful sites for selecting color. And there's a couple different ones that I like. So this is just kind of a useful site because you can pick kind of your base and then it's giving you, the tints and shades based on that color. You could also key in a color name right here, click OK, and let me see. Okay, and then it gives you tints and shades of that particular color as well. The Adobe one is particularly nice because it pulls in that color theory that we just looked at. So if you wanted complementary colors, it does allow you to select that. And then you can see down here, it's based off of this color. So if you change your base color, okay, it changes the other colors. And you can make the adjustments. You have the hex number here. It's also giving you RGB values for the different colors. And there were some other sites as well that you can check out. Another way that you can get color is by uploading images to Lunapic. And if you go into their file menu and color palette, Lunapic will actually pull the colors from the image so that you can pick colors that kind of go with your background. Okay, so you'll be going through here. We talk about how to put the backgrounds in and how to adjust them because the default is for those images to repeat. And that doesn't always look good. So how to, tweak those background images so they look good, how to position them, all of that fun stuff. We also get into fonts because probably the second most popular thing to change in color is changing the font. So how do you do that? So there's information on that as well. And you'll kind of go through here. And I do encourage you to do whatever interactive exercises are linked in because it does help you learn the material better. Now, where you're going to be applying that information is in the textbook assignment. And this is going to be a little bit more directive. So there are videos that go with every single task. And there's also files that you will be downloading. And make sure when you download these that you right click and either save target as or save link as. The command is going to vary depending on the browser, but make sure you save that into the Lesson4 folder. And then for the graphics, you're going to want to save those into a media folder. And then you're just going to follow the directions and apply the CSS. And there are videos with each one of these that you can watch. After the textbook assignment, you are going to work on the lab assignment. And the lab assignment involves creating an internal style sheet for that detail summary page that you created last week. So you're going to have to figure out what color scheme you want, and you're going to create the internal style sheet. These are the different styles that I would like you to change, in at least one heading tag, in the body tag, in the summary tag, in the detail tag. You're going to make these adjustments. For width, you may want to stick with a percentage because percentages are mobile friendly. Pixels are not a good way to do width. When people use pixels, quite often they don't make it wide enough. So you may want to do a percentage here. And if you run into problems, if it doesn't look right and you don't know how to fix it, make sure you get it onto the server. And then you can just email me and I'll take a look at it and help you. Here's an example of what I did with my big cat page. Then for your assignment, you are going to want to update your assignment page with the links for this particular assignment. And then you're going to do a color scheme for your text and links. And you're going to create an external style sheet. You're going to want to link that style sheet into your assignment page. Let's see, for your external style sheet, these are the style rules that I am looking for and the different sections. You want to make sure you have all of your links, the different link states styled, the body, and your headings. I am giving you a link to an example of what your assignment page could look like with all of that styling in. Now, this is more than you need. Okay, so these are minimums, and if you want to do more, that's awesome. I do want you to do an inline style for the footer, just so you get a little practice doing an inline style. And that's what mine looked like. And remember, an inline style is inside the footer tag. Then once you're done, you're going to transfer everything to the web and submit done to the assignment pages. And again, if you have any problems with any of this, make sure you transfer it, and then I will take a look at it. Once you're done with the assignment, we do have a discussion forum on CSS research. You're going to select a property you would like to learn more about. In your book, pages 91 through 106 has a lot of properties listed, and you can do research on any of those. Or you can research anything else that is of interest to you. So I've clicked on add, and I'm putting together a little post here as an example. But basically what you need to do is indicate what property you researched and provide a link. So there are some new commands that deal with text outlines that are kind of cool. So here is a link to the page that I found that stuff on. Basically, if you want to do a text outline color with a different fill color, instead of doing all of this, there is a new way to do it. And because it's new and it's not supported by all of the browsers, you have to prefix the commands with WebKit. So the commands are text stroke and text fill color. But because it's not supported yet, you have to put WebKit in front. But basically, this will produce the outline around the text, and the outline can be one color, and then the text color itself can be different. So I've even given you kind of a web page that you can, copy and paste so you can see what it looks like. But that is my example that I'm going to post. And so you guys are going to need to do something similar. And once you have posted yours, you're going to read the posting from the other students and reply to one of them. Okay, and if nobody else has posted, you can certainly reply to mine. So that is what we are doing in lesson 4. And if you run into problems or have questions, let me know and have fun with this because CSS is pretty awesome.